Today, I'm going to talk about a rush hour drive, some tips, best practices to help you. We're getting ready to leave the laboratory. When you first get into the car, you want to put on your seatbelt. So I'm putting on my seatbelt, right? Safety is no accident. And it's across my shoulders, and the belt is across my waist. So this way you won't submarine, not the submarine that goes into the water, but you will actually slip through the belt. Okay, next, I want to go ahead and start up the vehicle and make sure, looking at my dashboard, making sure everything is good. No warning lights on. I have fuel. It's a little low, so it might be enough to get me where I need to get. I want to adjust my mirrors. I want to look straight ahead and frame the rear window in the mirror so I can see everything just looking just like that. And then my left mirror, I want to look straight ahead and bring the mirror in to my peripheral vision. I'm adjusting it. I really am adjusting it. Yes. So I look straight ahead and I'm going to bring it in some, and then I'm good there. And then my passenger side mirror, I'm taller, so we had a smaller Instructor in there. I want to bring it up, and then I can go from there. So now I have my mirrors adjusted, but I'm not done. I have to look around. So I'm going to put the car in reverse. I do have a backup camera, but the best backup camera are these beautiful brown eyes. So I want to look. So I'm in reverse, and I put my arm on the seat, and it turns me back. I'm looking left, I'm looking right, and I'm being really careful. And I'm going to turn very short. A lot of beginners turn really wide, so parking maneuvers are very important. You see me looking around and checking, and now I'm straight. And now you're going to see, this is the inside view. You're actually going to see me go to the bottom of the driveway, which is considered a private drive. And then I'm going to go up to the bottom. A lot of beginners stop where the sidewalk is and your vision is blocked. So you're going to see me go down and straighten up my wheels. I have to yield for traffic. I'm going to turn on my right turn signal, and then I am going to wait. Okay, I'm going to go into the nearest lane, and I'm gradually rolling into the throttle. That car didn't stop, they just rolled through that truck to the left. So speed limit's 35, I'm at about 32. You have some warning signs here. School zone crossing. Gotta yield. So what does rush hour feel like? Everyone's ready to go home. And I have to yield here. And then I look over my shoulder. There's a car. And I'm aware. And whenever you stop, you want to see the rear of the tires. So if you have questions, put them in. We're doing a tutorial on rush hour driving, some things you need to know. I am low on fuel, so I will have to go get some petrol. I don't want to risk running out. If you cut it too short, thank you for the thumbs up. If you cut it too short, you're going to run out of gas, and that's happened to me a few times. So you might as well just go ahead and get gas. And in case there is a traffic jam or an accident, you don't have to worry about running out of gas. I mean, that's real life out here. So either you have to fill up in the morning when you're tired, and it was low when I got into the vehicle this morning, and it's even lower now because I made it to the lab. So speed is good, just cruising along. And then you see pedestrians popping up, so I'm kind of staying to the middle. I don't want to get hit by a door or run over a pedestrian. Thank you for the positive comment, I appreciate it. And I'm just scanning left and right, trying to be really smooth and predictable. It's a nice, beautiful fall day. It was 70s here earlier a few days ago. Now it's back down into 45 degrees. Got another warning sign. I always try to alert. If you were driving up to me, I would tell you, hey, what is that sign? You know, be aware.
squeeze my brakes and stop for 3 seconds. 1001, 1002, 1003. Then the gas station is over here to my right. I'm gonna leave it on and go in and get some fuel and continue. So this yield sign is really critical because people come flying off the ramp to the left and you really have to look. So you're gonna really see me look. See me really look, it's clear. All right. And I'm gonna be going in the second driveway. And you look at the dashboard. On this particular car, the gas tank is on the passenger side. So I need to pull up to a pump that's on the passenger's, I'm sorry, on the driver's side. So you gotta be aware. So I'm just going up really slow. I don't want to get too close and scrape the car, but I don't want to be too far away. The common courtesy is just to go down to the last pump. And that's what you should really do. And you line up the rear door. And whenever you're here in the vehicle, you stop. You want to get any trash. Wow, this instructor really likes a lot of food. So you want to clean the vehicle out. Make sure get everything you need out so you can keep it moving. You should always have some hand sanitizer to clean off the wheel after driver's drive. And typically what happens, a lot of drivers sweat and they sweat the wheel, the car smells like sweat. So you really should soap up, lather up the steering wheel. I do that, lather up the shifter and any touch points. When I was training through COVID, we would actually have a plastic barrier. I would be on the passenger seat, brake here, the driver would be here. We would have masks on, and as you know, it was very hard to breathe back then. So we would have our mask on, the plastic. You really felt claustrophobic. I mean, I'm not kidding. A representative from the company came and put the shield in the car. So I am getting ready to go in. I have a push to start, so the car will automatically lock. You just hold on 1 second. You got questions, put it in. got to put some fuel in, so hold on a second. Okay, it's 45 degrees here. Obviously, it's a little colder. Got a receipt, got gasoline, got a little snack. So I got my gas, about 5.5 gallons, 20 bucks. Most people fill up 20 bucks, 25 bucks, 10 bucks. This is real life out here. We're all on a budget trying to manage our money. So they always taught us, you know, when you're driving, you put your receipts on the visor, so when it's time to do your payroll, you just get your receipts, you get everything and total it up. So as usual, in the car again, I put on my seatbelt, right? And I gotta look around. I'm in a gas station. I'm gonna go hit flip screens. Hey, yes, I'm back. Hey, how you guys doing? Glad to see you. We're gonna be doing a tutorial on rush hour driving, real life. You got to get gas. Either you go and get in the morning and you're dead tired and the traffic is crazy, or you barely make it to work, fumes, then you're out of work. You don't get paid till the middle of the week. You got to get gas. So once you drive, this is real life, and I'm taking you through that journey. So I'm in a gas station. I'm going to show you this. And what I like to do, I'm gonna wait until the next light so I can position myself at the bottom of the driveway and I can pull out onto the street without blocking the crosswalk, because I'm trying to be polite and courteous. So I'm gonna go start up our vehicle. And because of my automotive background, I look at the dashboard and I'm gonna tell you, we're at almost a half a tank, yay. And this will tell me my fuel range. Volts 13.2, getting about 19, average is about 19.6, best is 36, air filter life is 30%, the air pressure 32 in the front, driver 34 in the front, passenger pressure is a little bit off, and the rear driver left 30, and the rear passenger 31. So the tire pressure is definitely a little bit off. I want to see our fuel range, 30% left on fuel life. Hey, I got 181 miles fuel range, so that's enough to, you know, get you to the work middle of the week, next few days. You know, Halloween is tomorrow. I already got my mask on. No, I'm joking. But I'm just timing it with the lights. You see me looking around, and I'm gonna show you. So I'm in drive. Cars are already going on the green. I'm just kind of looking around in the parking lot because
You gotta look, because people will come through here and just fly like crazy. So you're gonna see me looking. I'm looking to the left, then I'm gonna switch screens. All right, and I'm looking for a gap. And I'm just trying to be patient. I see a gap now, but I'm gonna wait. Because these cars are coming off the expressway 45, 50, 60 miles an hour. And I'm just being cautious. And then I'm gonna go across. Hopefully they stop. And then I'm gonna position my car without blocking the crosswalk, because I really want to model good behavior. And this is okay to do. You always want to be aware. So there's a crossover I could take to the left, but I don't need to go back. I need to go east. So you got to know directions. And of course, that sign says delayed signal, because people do run the light. I'm gonna pull up a little bit more because I don't want to block. And if you're courteous, other people will do the same thing too. Be a courteous person, and good things will happen. Good things will happen in life, and you'll live a great, prosperous life. I'm really a firm believer in that, just being courteous and nice. Okay, we got our green. I'm looking, and I'm scanning. You're gonna see me do a nice little merge. This is a short ramp, so I'm at 40 right now. My fuel range is 194. There's a car coming. I'm gonna get right out to the first lane. And that was a pretty good merge. I was about 60 miles an hour. So just like this morning, I had some choices. If you were driving with me, I would keep you in the first lane for a few minutes, let you get settled down. And then we'll get over to the left in a moment. I'm just trying to keep my space, and that's what you see me doing, lifting off the gas. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. I'm checking my mirrors, and if I don't see you checking your mirrors just like I'm doing, you're going to get marked down. So I'm going to get over one lane to the left. You saw me look. That was a good blind spot check. Now I'm in the middle lane. It's a little bit faster. I'm getting 25 miles to the gallon. That's not too bad. And I want you to see, I'm looking at the volume of traffic. I checked the mirror. There's a red truck behind me. They're passing me to the left, going a little bit faster. So I'm just taking my time. And I would tell you, you're doing a great job. Let's switch. Okay, so now we're in the middle lane. Smooth, easy, chilled. Doing great. And I'm just trying to keep my space. You gotta drive with a purpose. Everyone's trying to get home. The speed is pretty good, so if you're in a hurry, you'll be doing 70, 75, but you really can't go that fast because there's just a lot of traffic. Like the car to my right, they're going to tailgate, or they're going to cut over in front of me. So you have to be that defensive driver. The speed limit's 70. I'm cruising about 64, 65. Relax, chill. Just trying to be a safe driver. And that's the goal of this. I want you to see the eye movement that I'm doing. Because if you don't look around, you're going to cut off a car, they're going to cut you off. Now I'm squeezing my brakes. So you'll see my eyes getting big. Woo. There's about 80 cars ahead of us. And this is rush hour. So I want to show you this. this traffic. New York, Washington, D.C., Detroit, Chicago, UK, Australia, New Zealand, India, Pakistan. I love you all, my brothers and sisters. So we're in a huge metro area. This truck has had on the blinker light for 2 minutes. If I speed up, yeah, I can get more space, but someone's going to cut me off. And I must try to keep space. This is definitely a bottleneck. And you have 2 lanes merging in. I'm at 30 miles an hour. And I'm squeezing the brake very gentle. And if I see you punching the brake, I would tell you, don't punch the brake, don't squeeze the wheel. And as I was mentioning, a lot of students grab the wheel and they sweat. And it's just nerves. So you gotta tell your students, just relax. In a few moments, we'll be out of all this, but this is what it's about. This is what I wanted you to see. I'm at 30. Fuel range is 195. I'm at 19, now 27. The fuel range is all over. The miles per gallon are over because we're at 40, we're at 30, we're at 20. Our speed is not constant, so the miles per gallon are not accurate or consistent. We're at about 50 right now, and the speed limit is 70. And a lot of beginners will say, how come I can't go faster? And I would simply say to them, look at the driving environment and analyze it. And the flow is starting to pick up. So we're at about 50 now. And wherever you guys are from, there are semi trucks all over the country. Middle East, Asia, UK. So, truck drivers are you, and you can see the flow picking up. And I'm looking ahead about 20 cars. Is it really worth me jamming the gas, getting to the left lane? Not really. Turn my blinker. And I wanted to be very deliberate. You should be very predictable when you're driving with your instructor, you're driving with me. Stay consistent. I'm at 70. The fuel range is now 202, so I think the fuel is sloshing around in the tank. Went from 195 to 205. But we're going on a downhill drop right now. It's definitely like a roller coaster. Are your roads like this in the UK, Australia, Pakistan? Let me know. Okay, 21 miles to the gallon. And what I'm doing is turning it real smoothly. You can see I got out of the curve a little bit. I almost tipped the vehicle. So if you get too aggressive, you're going to end up losing it. Just like that car, they're going way faster than all of us, but they really can't go anywhere. I was reading some information from the census.gov. Most people in the United States, I can't speak for that because other people consume this content, you're from around the world, but they said the average commute is about 24 minutes. I tend to agree with that. But it feels good to get this gasoline, and instead of trying to take a chance and try to get home because you'll run out, or try to get to your other job, or go pick up a client and teach them how to drive. I'm spending about $150 for 2 hours worth of driving. Not too bad. You know, do you guys spend more? Do you spend less? I'm trying to hold this car on this curve. You can see how curvy the road is. I'm looking ahead 10 cars to see what the traffic flow is doing. Are they moving? Is it stop and go? Is there debris on the road? It's a pretty clear day. This video should be real nice. Hopefully you guys can see it. Most people do keep space, S-P-A-C-E. This gives you time to react. And I'm just trying to be very deliberate. You know, what type of car is ahead of me? A truck, what are the capabilities? Like that Jeep in the middle lane, it can tip over. They're kind of tailgating, so I'm expecting someone to come at me. Yeah, I've seen one of those Jeeps actually tip over before. Fall over, I should say. Because of the high center of gravity. Now, I don't know if you have hazardous material carriers, but this semi-truck driver, that's a hazardous material. So you'll see a red triangle on that vehicle, and you notice no one is behind it, so don't want to be behind it. And they can see up higher than everyone else. We do have a shortage of drivers here in the semi-truck drivers. I don't know if it's like that where you guys are from. Just let me know. So I see you popped in. We're talking about rush hour driving, some of the things you need to do. Try to stay in a lane that's smooth. Don't mess with the semi-truck. Yep, see the triangle on there? 1075, hazardous material carrier. That's gasoline. I need some for my car. Oh, so I'm gonna keep it moving. And now I see a lot of cars bunched together. So I'm gonna lift my foot. I'm not cutting off this semi-truck to my right. Why would I do that? I don't want to die. This truck will just crush this car like a can. So I'm definitely not going to cut off the semi-truck driver. And my foot's off the gas because I see brake lights now. And if you're learning from this, you know, give it a thumbs up. I'm narrating to you, giving your perspective. You want to be smooth. You're right at 70. Things are moving nicely. This car is out of alignment a little bit. I think the client hit the curb. It definitely, the steering wheel is off center to the right. So it kind of pulls to the right a little bit. But your car should have an alignment. You know, every so often, we have a lot of potholes, and that's very hard on your car. There's a bus, so I'm going to stay away from them. I am making really good time. Bus driving is drunk driving, that's true. Very stiff penalties. Don't drink and drive. I'm lifting my foot a little bit, trying to keep my following distance. And then I see all those brake lights. Whoa. And my foot's off the gas, I'm dropping more speed. Definitely something going on. So cars will just cut off left and right. We went from about 70 down to 50. The video does look pretty clear. It's pretty nice. Happy for that. Staying away from this truck. I don't want to go under it. If backup happens, I don't want to cut this truck off either. We have some room. I want you to see me check my blind spot. So it's mirror, turn signal, blind spot. It's a pretty good lane change. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get over one more. Being very deliberate, checking. Oh, making wide turns. You're going too fast. Hey, you're going too fast in your turns. Usually beginners go like 25 to 30. And if you go 25 to 30 in your turn, you're gonna have to really crank the wheel and you're gonna throw the car. So you gotta go in under, keep your foot on the brake as you go into the turn. Thank you. See, I'm dedicated. I answer my people's questions. So yeah, go in slow to your turn and accelerate out smoothly. If you hit the gas, the car will jerk back. I've had that happen with the driver yesterday. Converse, I'm not sponsored by them. Converse are really good shoes that you should wear. Crocs are pretty good shoes. You can't wear Timberlands right now. Hard Nikes, don't do that. You need some good thin sole shoes that are comfortable. I wear size 14, so it's not like I can just go into a store and get regular shoes. I wish I could. It's always been like that. I've always been a bigger guy, and whenever I find some shoes that look good, I buy 2 or 3 pair. So, but a lot of you, and my cousin, he wears size 15, so you know how that is. So, you're welcome. Thank you. Kay the Virgo. Okay, I remember you. AK, I do have a podcast. You will really like that. It's on Spotify, Driving with Myles. I just put it together a couple of days ago, so I'm waiting for the RSS feed thing so I can link it in my channel and all my other social medias. You would love the podcast. So I'll try to make sure I can get it linked into the channel. You'll get a chance to laugh. Hear some of the things I go through as an instructor, and it gives you some insight because I love teaching people how to drive, and it's definitely work. You have to have a plan, a mission, so I love doing that. Okay, so I'm making this left turn. I got to be in the inside lane by the double yellow. Got him. See, that's a good turn. If you turn in the wrong lane, automatic failure or accident. This area is deadly because you go flying down this downhill drop, cars run lights, you're gonna get hit. I had some earlier video, I had a dash cam in here and you saw my face, it was crazy. So I'm just taking my time. The speed limit here is 50. We're at 30 miles an hour and everyone just speeds because they're so impatient. I need to get over one lane to the right, so I want you to see me. Check that blind spot. So yeah, go into your turn slow. And those who are listening, you got to check out my podcast, Driving with Myles. It's on Spotify. You should be able to click on Spotify, type in Driving with Myles. You'll see my face. And I made 2. One is 35 minutes. The other one is 45. I want to try to make one every other day. Get about 8 or 10 out there so you guys can listen and laugh and just give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. Because I think it's going to help you understand yourself, understand what drivers and instructors go through, and then it's going to, you're going to laugh because I'm a humorous guy and I love teaching people how to drive. So we're stopped here at this busy intersection, and once a month there's some major accidents because people run lights, they cut the turns really short. So when you're at intersections, you got to be really mindful, and I'm going to show you this. Okay, you got to be careful. And then I'm going to turn, and this, when I have my blinker on about 4 blinks, and this is a great place to take people to drive. And I like taking people here. I think my phone froze. All right, so we're here waiting for the client. I think they said 4:30, and I'm trying to teach you some really real important fundamentals, going with the flow, not tailgating, being in the middle lane. I'm gonna show you this intersection. Okay, got a busy intersection. People run lights. Those cars are making protected left turns. That's a teachable moment. If you're making a left turn, you want to turn by the double yellow. You don't want to turn in the wrong lane, because people making right turns, you'll go in their lane and that's an automatic failure. I'm really a big advocate of teaching people, showing people how to drive and become a safe driver. It's one thing to learn how to drive. It's another thing to be that safe driver, learn from the mistakes of others, be very methodical. Downtown Chicago, downtown Detroit, downtown Houston, Dallas. It's a lot to think about when you're out here driving, and you just have to stay within yourself, be patient. You see these cars making their turns. You see that car's going in really fast, and then she came in really hard. She had to run the light. The light just turned green. So if you come in really fast to your turns, case example, you're going to have to crank that wheel, like this car with the struck with the motorcycle, going in really slow. Don't want that motorcycle to tip over. But I always scan the intersections, and because I've been in the traffic industry, I look at intersections and cars and what drivers are doing differently than a lot of people who are just saying, hey, I'm just going to drive. What is the time of day? It's almost 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. People are tired. They're coming home. These cars are going to run a lot of lights. This is the virtual classroom. This is real life out here. You see cars, you see buses, young drivers, and from 3 to 5, this is the most dangerous time, because you have a lot of young, inexperienced drivers that are out here. And if you have young, inexperienced drivers, they're going to make mistakes. They're going to lose control. So you want to reduce those odds and be able to. So if you're feeling anxious or scared, I'm going to give you some more information. You want to practice. You've got to practice in this type of driving so you feel more comfortable. You got to consider taking additional lessons that is offered. Practice in empty parking lot, but this is a little bit different. This is not an empty parking lot. This is real life driving that I showed you. I'm going to flip screens a minute. This is real life driving. And if you're not careful and you run a light, you're going to get hit or get killed or be injured. So I teach those positive things so you don't have an accident. So you have a good driving record. And it's very important. You want to have gradual exposure. What does this mean, gradual exposure? Gradually expose yourself to more challenging driving situations. Start with easier ones and gradually work your way up. I went on a very short ramp to merge on the expressway. Could have got cut off. If I go too fast, I'll cut off another car. So the right speed is 55, 45, 60 might be too fast, 40 might be too slow. You want to stay calm. You notice that when I'm driving, I'm just chilled. And everyone is different. You do get tired. You do get hungry. You do get irritated. But if you're tired, hungry, and irritated, you're probably going to road rage. You're probably going to cut someone off. You're probably going to snap on someone. So managing anxiety, another really important point. You have to manage your anxiety. Anxiety is real. It's no joke. So I don't want you to think, oh, people do have anxiety learning how to drive. And I almost crashed my race car in Alabama, Motorsport Park. I launched the car, went out about a quarter of a mile, and then the car started going to the left to the wall. I was going about 130, had a lot of wheel speed. So I had to lift my foot. I swear I was going to hit the wall. But luckily, I didn't hit the wall. So because I panicked, I overturned the wheel left and right. You don't want to panic. So managing anxiety while driving is essentially focusing, deep breaths, calming music, work your way through more complex scenarios. And I do believe that if I went to downtown Chicago, New York, I would be overwhelmed because I haven't been to those areas in a very long time. Texas, haven't been there in a long time. So you want to practice mindful techniques. And when I drive, I try to be mindful and show you all mindful things to really help you. So when you get into situations, oh, I remember what he did. I remember what he said. Go too fast in the turns, you'll lose control. You got to slow the car down. You don't check your blind spot. My blind spot is to my left, right here, and to my right. If I don't look over my shoulder, I've just caught off a car. The blind spot is right there where I'm pointing. You got to look over your shoulder. Blind spot is over here to my left. You don't look over your shoulder, you cut off a car. Seek support. I'm here to support you if you feel overwhelmed. I decided to go live, and the phone's safe and secure, both hands on the wheel. That's the way it's supposed to be. And I think with the podcast, Driving with Myles, it's on Spotify. I have 2 episodes so far. Had a couple of people listen, so I'm trying to get the word out. And I'll get the RSS feed link, if I'm saying it right. And then I'll put that in all the social media so you can listen. It's about 45 minutes. It's real life. I'm teaching you how to be safe, some of the things you need to do. To help you address, I can help you address. If you have comments or questions or concerns, I'll reply. And if you want to be on the podcast, right? Usually Saturday mornings, Sunday afternoons, if I have 35, 40 minutes, I'll make a podcast. And if you are interested, I could send you a link. We could talk about driver's ed, do a little editing, funny little thumbnail, put it out there with a nice little title, because I enjoy that. But I'm very meticulous and I do procrastinate. So just like everyone else, learn from your mistakes. You have to learn. And if you go too fast in the turn, you're going to crash. I had a lot of student drivers hit the curb because they're going in too fast. That's failure. If you go off the road, failure. Oh, you just followed me. Thank you. Thank you. Please listen. Let me know. Tell me what you think. I'm so excited. I'm like a little kid, just excited, because I've been wanting to do this for a couple years. I bought the special equipment at home, the microphone, all that. And one of my students said, hey, you just download the app and you make your podcast. It's so easy. And you know me, I'm a social butterfly, right? I love to talk. And I tell you through experience, okay? Thank you. That means a lot, Kay. Kay, I know you've been supporting me a while, and I'm like your uncle, bigger brother, keeping it real. Okay, let's go downtown. You jump in. No, I don't want to. Okay, I'll drive there. You drive back. You drive through all the traffic, and I'll drive back. Or how about I put gas in the car, you drive there back? Nope, we got to share the ride. Okay, and driving downtown, and I'm on the edge. I'm not near downtown, suburban, I'm not even midtown. The more volume of traffic you have, it's a whole new animal, because it's stop and go, cut you off. Stop and go, cut you off. Stop and go, cut you off. So you got to have that patience, and you got to have a little snack or something, because you get irritated in the car. So I got my chips. I got my juice. And you need those things to kind of keep you chilled. Okay, I'm talking real life, and you need a little snack, apple, juice, something like that, because between 4:30 and about 6, you get tired. You feel like you're about to fall off in the car, so you gotta keep your car, I keep it a little cool. I don't keep it warm because you'll fall asleep, okay? So I do notice that. So, and you gotta get your rest, right? You're like my dad, my mom nagging. You gotta get your rest. So I got like 6.5, 7 hours. I got up at like 5:30. Usually I hit the alarm 10 times and I get up at 6. Then I'm rushing. I got up at 5:30, got up, edited a few videos, pushed a couple videos out in the morning, and got my breakfast. The car was slow on gas, so I knew I had to, and I got to the lab, right? Thank you. I'm your virtual uncle, and I'm here. Kay, I would love to have you on the podcast. I'll get the link out, and we'll figure it out, because you can have up to 4 or 5 people on there, and we can talk about the experiences of driving, real life. You know, my mom was very strict. My dad, very strict. Both of them from Alabama, loving parents, hardworking, and hey, they didn't play. So they said, be in before the street lights, you in. Okay. I'm keeping it real. This would be a good podcast if I was podcasting now. And you need to hear that, because you need to have a purpose. My purpose, I'm an educator. My purpose is driver's ed. And this is not work to me. This is sharing my life to help educate you, get you through your journey. And don't let people irritate you and set you off, because they will. And you'll like lose your mind. So you got to stay chilled. I'm very organized and have everything laid out. So you got to learn from your mistakes. If you are falling asleep in the car, you got to get more rest. If you can't stay awake, you got to pull over, get off, chill for 15, 20 minutes, get something to drink. I really think it's awesome. I can learn so much. Oh, yeah. Kay, I'm here for you 100%. And by me helping people who have anxiety, helping people who've been in trauma. I had one young lady, her sister was killed in an automotive accident. And then her mom, see, I'm having on the podcast, right? Her mom said, I'm so thankful. I just wanted to talk to you, Mom. And I'm like, talk to me about what? She wanted to have this conversation with me, because the young lady's twin sister died in an automotive accident. So I said to myself, I need to be very loving. I need to have my kid gloves on, because when you teach someone how to drive, it's serving them for a greater purpose. And I understood that. So if you love people and you really care, you work for the church, you'll be a teacher, a coach, educate people, because someone gave me that gift, and then I want to move it forward. And you'll get your blessings, right? I'm a firm believer in karma. Okay, not Taylor Swift. I like Taylor Swift too. Karma, okay? And you understand that, right? Yes. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. And Kay, leave some comments. I do really take the time to reply, because that's where you know what the listeners want, the subscribers. And I'm very blessed. And I have to show more of myself to help support you and people who want to learn how to drive. I do have a sense of humor. People say crazy stuff when I read the comments, but also I take it in stride, and I'm very humble and thankful. So you got to stay informed. You got to know the rules and the laws. I will be traveling to Texas at the end of this week, so I'm going to make some content on the plane. I'm going to interview some people, talk to maybe some instructors in Dallas, Texas. That's going to be awesome. So be looking for that. And I can't wait. So that's going to be really exciting. So I'll be leaving and going to Texas Thursday morning. And, I don't want to have a big camera in front of people's faces, so you get all, but, I will, I'll be making those podcasts and getting them out there and talking and learning and seeing that. I've been to Texas a few times. Remember the Alamo. So you got to stay informed of current rules and laws. And I try to be aware of that, because I teach drivers that I start my new class tonight. So I always try to change it up every 6 weeks. I always try to bring new information in and help these new generation of drivers, because everyone is different and you can't do the same thing you did last week. And I'm going to show you this. And this route, this time period is very overwhelming for beginning drivers. Okay. And if I'm uptight and I'm tense and I'm nervous, they're going to do the same thing. If I'm more chilled, more relaxed, they're going to do fine. Because right now, people want to go home. They want to use the bathroom. They got to get their chicken, got to get their toilet tissue. I'm keeping it real. And these are some of the things I say on the podcast. You have to be in a chilled state because people will just kill you to get through a light. And you're like, for what? Okay. And these lights are anywhere from 45 seconds to 2 minutes. So you've got to just stay chilled and relax. You can't lose your mind. Take breaks. And I'm taking a break. The client texted me they won't be out to 5, so I'm going to talk to you guys a few more minutes here. If you're anxious, pull over and chill, relax, okay? And it won't kill you if you're 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, 7 minutes late. Drive with a friend. That's nice. My favorite cousin, I have all girl cousin. She know who she is. I learned how to drive a manual, Volkswagen, Beetle. I had never been in a Volkswagen before. The clutch was not my friend. I kept stalling the car out, stalling the car out, stalling the car out. But when you're young and crazy, you're like, you just keep doing it. But, you know, when you grow up, then you're like, man, this is overwhelming. So I feel for my brothers and sisters who are driving manuals in the UK, Australia, you know, Middle East, Asia. It's all good. We all learn through this. And I do know how to drive a manual too. I blew up the transmission like 4 times. Okay, so drive with a friend. They will give you that support, give you that guidance, and remember it's okay to take things at your own pace. And that's what I did with all this traffic. I want to show you this traffic again. Do you really think I'm going to let someone rush me? If they want to go faster, they can drive around me. I respect everyone. We all have places to go. People's gas tank is on E. You got to bring some food back. Your wife or girlfriend or your boyfriend is, you know, gotta get baby formula. You need some dog food. Oh, by the way, your mom called and the refrigerator is broken. It's always something that pops up. So you have to just stay chilled because when you drive, you're in that little still bubble. And just because you're driving, people still will try to set you off and everything. I don't want this to drag on. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a podcast. It's called Driving with Myles on Spotify. I made 2 episodes. I got a couple of downloads. I was like, thank you. So go to Spotify, look up Driving with Myles. I have some nice crispy thumbnails. I will be making some more. I have some funny thumbnails you'll like. And I can give you the inside track on driving and, you know, practical information to really help you get out here. But it's still a challenge every day, even for someone who's been driving a longer time. You still have to make good decisions. I want to show you this pedestrian that's here. You'll see there's a person on a bike. You can see the front. And if he's not careful and he's not paying attention, he could get ran over. It's called the right hook. That burgundy car, that copper car can run him off the road. So you got to be careful. And if you're not, you could accidentally hit someone. So if someone is riding a bike, they should be going with the flow of the traffic. And pedestrians, if there's a sidewalk, you should be walking on the sidewalk. If there's no sidewalk, you need to be walking against the flow of the traffic. You never turn your back to cars because you will get ran over. And I want you really to have the best experience. And it all depends on your instructor. There's no right age. It could be 18. It could be 22. It could be 24. Whenever you're ready to drive, it's when you're ready. And I always wanted to be able to drive in case my parents got sick or there was an emergency, because that's really important. So someone in the house has to learn how to drive. Why not it be you? YOU. And then you learn how to, maybe at 5:15, traffic is down. I want to say thank you. Find Driving with Myles on Spotify. Listen to it. I have 2 episodes. Hilarious. You will love them because I speak truth and you'll laugh. So I want to say thank you guys. Thank you for your support. Leave comments, leave questions. I will answer, and I'll try to get on tonight or maybe tomorrow at 12 o'clock, maybe at this time tomorrow. Bye, guys.